The frozen discovery. The abandoned research station hung in the void like a tomb, silent and forgotten for centuries. Dr. Maya Chen adjusted her helmet's display as her boots mag-locked to the outer hull, her breath fogging the faceplate despite the suit's temperature controls. Maya, are you sure about this? Her partner's voice crackled through the comm from their ship. That station's been dark for 300 years. There's nothing salvageable left. That's what they said about the Meridian ruins, Maya replied, cutting through the outer airlock with her plasma torch, and I found an entire library of pre-war artifacts there. Trust me on this one. The airlock groaned open and Maya stepped into darkness so complete it seemed to swallow her helmet light. The station's interior was a maze of corridors thick with frost, her scanner painting ghostly outlines of equipment that hadn't been touched since humanity's first expansion into deep space. She was looking for proof, evidence that the Asharan civilization had been more than the monsters history painted them as. Her academic career depended on it, but more than that, she needed to know the truth about the beings who'd been systematically exterminated for simply existing. The scanner pinged, a power signature impossibly strong for a dead station. Maya followed it deeper into the facility's core, where the walls changed from standard alloy to something older. Crystalline structures that predated human technology by millennia. The chamber she found was breathtaking, a spherical room with walls covered in bioluminescent patterns that pulsed faintly with residual power. In the center floated a stasis pod, its surface covered in warnings written in every known language and several extinct ones. "Do not open," Maya translated, her heart racing. "Death waits within. Mercy demands eternal sleep." She circled the pod slowly, recording everything. Through the frost-covered viewing panel, she could make out a figure inside. Humanoid, but distinctly not human. The being's skin held a faint purple hue even in stasis, her features sharp and elegant with high cheekbones and a delicate nose. But what caught Maya's attention were the elongated pointed ears that curved back against her skull, and the ridge-like markings that traced her temples. "An Asharan," Maya breathed. An actual Asharan in perfect preservation. She knew she should leave, should report this to the Xenological Institute and let them handle the discovery. But Maya also knew what they'd do. Dissection, study, treating this last daughter of a dead race as nothing more than a specimen. Her hand hovered over the pod's control interface, the ancient symbols slowly resolving in her translator. She thought about all the stories, the warnings, the fear that had driven humanity to hunt these beings to extinction. "I'm sorry," Maya whispered to the sleeping figure, "but you deserve better than being locked away forever." She initiated the revival sequence, and the pod began to hum with awakening power. The awakening. The stasis pod opened with a sound like breaking glass, vapor pouring out in crystalline clouds. Maya stepped back as the figure inside stirred, her purple-tinged skin gradually warming from the deathly pallor of deep freeze. The woman's eyes opened, revealing irises of deep violet that seemed to contain entire galaxies. She drew in a shuddering breath, the first in 3 centuries, and her gaze fixed on Maya with an intensity that made the scientist's heart stutter. "Where?" The woman's voice was rough from disuse, each word carefully formed. "Where am I? What year?" "You're on Research Station Omega 7, Maya said softly, keeping her hands visible and non-threatening. "The year is 2847 by human standard. You've been asleep for approximately 300 years. The woman tried to sit up and immediately collapsed, her body too weak to support itself. Maya rushed forward instinctively, catching her before she could fall. The moment their skin touched, the Asharan woman gasped and Maya felt something like electricity arc between them. "Don't," the woman whispered urgently, trying to pull away. "I'm Asharan. I could hurt you." "I know what you are," Maya said, helping her to a sitting position. "My name is Maya Chen. I'm a xenoarchaeologist. I've spent years studying your people. Then you know what I need?" The Asharan's voice was barely audible. "You know what will happen if I don't feed soon." Maya saw the pain in those violet eyes. The struggle against an instinct 300 years of hunger had made almost impossible to resist. She'd read the accounts, knew that Asharans absorbed bioelectric energy through direct contact, that without it they would eventually lose control and drain the nearest living being completely. "My name is Kara," the woman said, her body trembling. "I was a researcher. A scientist like you, I put myself in stasis hoping the galaxy would forget its fear. But I can feel the hunger, Maya. It's overwhelming." "Then feed," Maya said quietly, surprising herself with her certainty. I'm offering willingly. I know the risks, you don't. Kyra's hand shook as she reached toward Maya's face but stopped inches away. The connection. It's intimate. You'll feel everything I feel, see memories, experience emotions that aren't yours. It will change you. Then it changes me. Maya removed her glove, exposing her hand. I didn't wake you just to let you starve. Kyra, I wanted to meet you, to know one of your people as more than just historical data. Kyra's control finally broke and her fingers touched Maya's palm. The connection was instant and overwhelming, not painful but intensely intimate. Maya felt Kyra's hunger like a physical ache, felt her loneliness and fear and desperate hope that maybe this time would be different. But more than that, Maya felt Kyra experiencing her memories through the connection, seeing Maya's childhood spent reading about ancient civilizations, her determination to prove the Asharans had been misunderstood, her loneliness in a career that valued artifacts over compassion. When Kyra finally pulled away, both women were breathing heavily. Kyra's purple skin had deepened in color, life returning to features that had been gaunt with starvation. Her violet eyes were wide with wonder. I felt you, Kyra whispered. Your kindness, your curiosity, your loneliness that mirrors mine, Maya. Why would you risk yourself for someone like me? Because everyone deserves a chance, Maya said, her hand still tingling from the connection, and because I think maybe I've been looking for you my whole life. Before either could say more, alarms shrieked through the station. Maya's comm exploded with her partner's frantic voice. Maya, we've got company. 3 ships just dropped out of hyperspace, corporate hunters. They're scanning for life signs. Maya looked at Kyra, seeing her own fear reflected in those alien eyes. Can you move? I think so. Then we run. The choice Maya watched in horror as Lucas collapsed, his eyes rolling back as Kyra drained him. 2 more hunters rushed through the door and Kyra turned on them, her violet eyes blazing with an intensity that was both beautiful and terrifying. Kyra. Stop, Maya shouted, but her voice seemed distant, lost in the roar of hunger that had taken control. The first hunter fired, but Kyra dodged with impossible speed, her hand closing on his wrist. He went down screaming, his weapon clattering away. The second hunter tried to run, but Kyra was already there, blocking his escape, her movements predatory and fluid. Through the chaos, Maya saw what was happening. Kyra wasn't just feeding, she was losing herself, drowning in the flood of bioelectric energy and the violent memories of those she drained. This was what the histories warned about, the moment when an Asharan's control shattered and they became the monster everyone feared. Kyra. Maya stepped forward despite every survival instinct screaming at her to run. Kyra, listen to my voice, come back to me. Kyra turned, and for a moment Maya saw nothing in those violet eyes but hunger and rage. Then something flickered, recognition, fighting against the tide of instinct. Maya. Kyra's voice was strangled, desperate. Run. Please. I can't stop. Yes, you can. Maya moved closer, holding out her hand. You've been stopping, choosing restraint. For weeks now. This is just harder, but you're stronger than the hunger. I know you are, I can hear their thoughts. Kyra's hands trembled, covered in the residual energy she'd stolen. Lucas has killed 17 people for money. The others, so much violence, so much hate. It's drowning me. Then hold on to me instead. Maya's fingers brushed Kyra's and the connection opened. But this time Maya pushed back, flooding the link with her own memories. Every moment they'd shared, every conversation, every quiet instant of understanding. Remember the station, Maya whispered. Remember waking up and seeing someone who didn't fear you? Remember our talks about your research? About the books you loved? About the galaxy you hoped to see? Remember me, Kyra. Remember us. The purple-skinned woman sank to her knees, pulling Maya down with her. The connection between them intensified until Maya couldn't tell where her thoughts ended, and Kyra's began. She felt Kyra's struggle, the terrible hunger warring with the desperate desire to be more than a predator. I'm here. Maya held Kyra close, ignoring the unconscious hunters around them. You're not alone. You'll never be alone again. Kyra's body shuddered and then relaxed, the tension bleeding away as control returned. When she looked up, her violet eyes were clear again, filled with tears that traced silver paths down her purple cheeks. I almost killed them. Kyra's voice broke. I almost became exactly what they feared, but you didn't. Maya wiped away Kyra's tears. You stopped. You chose. That's what matters. They left the hunters alive but unconscious, stealing their ship to escape before reinforcements arrived. Maya piloted them toward the outer rim while Kara sat silently, staring at her hands as if they belonged to someone else. "Talk to me," Maya finally said as they jumped to hyperspace. "I felt what it was like," Kara whispered. "In Lucas's memories, I saw what my people did before the purge. The colonies we drained, the lives we destroyed. The fear was justified, Maya. We were monsters. You're not them." Maya engaged the autopilot and moved to Kyra's side. "You're one person making different choices. But what if I can't keep making them? What if next time there is no next time? What if I kill you?" Maya took Kyra's face in her hands, forcing her to meet her gaze. "Then I'll die knowing I was wrong about you. But I don't think I am, Kyra. I've seen who you are. Not just the Asheron who needs to feed, but the scientist who grieves for her lost people. The woman who fights against her nature every day because she wants to be better. How can you have such faith in me?" "Because I'm falling in love with you," Maya admitted, the words tumbling out before she could stop them. "And I know that's insane. We've known each other for weeks. You're from a species that could kill me with a touch, but I can't help it when I'm with you. I feel like I've found something I didn't know I was missing." Kyra's expression crumpled and she pulled Maya into an embrace, her cool skin against Maya's warmth, her breath soft against Maya's neck. "I feel it too," Kara whispered. "Through our connections, I've experienced your mind so intimately. I know you better than I've ever known anyone. And what I've found is beautiful, Maya. You're beautiful. Your compassion, your determination, your refusal to accept the easy answers." They held each other as the ship carried them deeper into uncharted space, two impossible beings finding comfort in shared isolation. "Where do we go now?" Kyra finally asked. Maya pulled up star charts, pointing to a system at the very edge of explored space. "There, Novaris, it's an abandoned terraforming project. No colonies, no corporate presence, just empty planets waiting for someone to give them purpose, a fresh start. For both of us, a new beginning." The planet they chose had no name, just a designation in the terraforming database, TF-471. Its atmosphere was breathable, gravity comfortable, and most importantly, it was far enough from civilized space that no one would find them unless they wanted to be found. Maya and Kyra's ship descended through clouds of purple and gold, landing on a plateau overlooking a vast empty ocean. The prefabricated habitat they'd salvaged from an abandoned way station wasn't much, but it was theirs, a place where they could finally stop running. "It's beautiful." Kyra stood at the habitat's viewport, watching the alien sunset paint the sky in shades that matched her skin. "I never thought I'd see something like this again." Maya came to stand beside her, their shoulders touching in the way that had become natural over the past months. "We have supplies for 6 months. After that, I'll need to make a run to the nearest trading post. I could come with you." "Too dangerous." "The hunters are still looking." Kyra turned to face her, taking Maya's hands in her own, the connection opening gently between them, sharing warmth and comfort rather than feeding. "I don't want you to go, even for supplies. These months with you have been the first time I've felt safe since the purge began." "I don't want to go either," Maya admitted. "But we need to survive, and that means risks." Or, Kyra's expression turned thoughtful. "It means finding a better way, Maya. I've been thinking about what you said about controlled feeding, about making this sustainable." Over the following weeks, they established a rhythm to their isolated life. Each morning they would explore their new world, mapping the coastline and cataloging the native plant life that had evolved in isolation. Kyra's scientific training made her an excellent research partner, and Maya found herself falling more deeply in love with the Yao, woman who could switch from philosophical discussions about consciousness to excited observations about crystalline rock formations. But it was the evenings that became sacred, the times when Kyra would feed. They developed a ritual around it, sitting together in the habitat's small living space hand in hand, opening the connection gradually and with intention. "Ready?" Kyra would ask, her violet eyes searching Maya's face. "Always." The feeding had transformed from a desperate necessity into something intimate, a sharing rather than a taking. Maya would feel Kyra's hunger and offer herself willingly, and in return she would experience Kyra's wonder at the galaxy through ancient eyes, her joy in small discoveries, her growing hope that maybe they could build something lasting. One evening, As they sat together watching the twin moons rise over the ocean, Kara suddenly spoke. There might be others, she said quietly. Other Asherons in stasis, hiding like I was, waiting for the fear to fade. Maya turned to look at her. You want to find them? I want to help them. If I can, I want to show them there's another way. That we don't have to be what history remembers. Kyra squeezed Maya's hand. But only if you want to. This is your life too now. Your choice. Maya thought about it, about the comfortable isolation they'd built, about the risk of returning to civilized space. But she also thought about other Asharans waking alone and afraid, without someone to help them navigate a galaxy that feared them. We'll need a bigger ship, Maya said finally, and better equipment, and probably some way to actually locate stasis pods that have been hidden for centuries. Kyra's face lit up with hope. You mean it, you'll help me find my people. Our people now, Maya corrected. You and me, we're a team wherever this goes. We go together. Kyra kissed her then, the first real kiss they'd shared, and Maya felt the connection open between them, not feeding but simply being, two minds touching across the gulf of species and history. When they separated, both were smiling. I love you, Maya Chen, Kyra said. I love your stubbornness and your compassion, and your refusal to see me as anything less than a person. You saved me from more than just stasis, you saved me from losing hope. I love you too, Maya replied. You showed me that the galaxy is bigger and stranger and more wonderful than I ever imagined. You made me feel like my work mattered, like I mattered. They sat together as darkness fell, watching stars emerge in the alien sky. Somewhere out there were hunters and corporations and people who would see Kyra as nothing but a valuable specimen. But here, in their small habitat on an unnamed world, they had found something rare and precious. They had found each other. And in the morning, they would begin planning their next impossible adventure, searching for lost souls across a galaxy that had forgotten how to see them as people. But tonight they were content to simply be together, two unlikely lovers writing a new story among the stars. Maya rested her head on Kyra's shoulder, feeling the cool purple skin beneath her cheek, and thought about all the choices that had led her here. Every seemingly wrong decision that had somehow been exactly right. Waking an ancient predator should have been her death. Instead, it had been the beginning of her life. Thank you, Maya whispered, for trusting me, for choosing me. Thank you, Kyra replied, her arms tightening around Maya, for seeing me. And on an unnamed planet at the edge of everything, beneath unfamiliar stars, they held each other close and dreamed of impossible futures that might just be possible after all. The end.